One of the everyday items that you have to deal with is like with the mental part of it, dealing with anxiety, depression, low self esteem. Those are items that people struggle with. Like, I struggle. There are times when I go through, and I would think that it's, and maybe it's just me, but there are times when I go through little bouts of depression when I'm just like not happy with whatever is going on in that moment. And it could be a day, it could be a week. And that's why it's important to have your village, the people around you that keep you focused, that keep you grounded. My niece is always saying to me, she's always telling me to lock in, like focus, like I'm getting it. And so I'm trying to lock in, but yeah, it's a task. And, but when you're dealing with depression or anxiety. Anxiety is not one that I think I have had to deal with a lot. And I don't know, I can't say why I don't or why people have it. Like, I just, that's not one I think I struggle with. And then, you know, as an adult, as a grown woman, after having kids and living my life, there are self-esteem items that some of us struggle with. Like for me, I am not happy with my weight, and that's one of the things that I have been wanting to do something about, and I will do something about it for a while and then I'll stop. I won't stay consistent, and that is part of my struggle and something that I need to work on. And I actually decided that with this channel that I would start doing some challenges to work on some of the things that I need to fix with myself. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that, or having items about yourself that you don't like. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted at all. I love me. There is no one on this earth that loves me more than me. But there are things about me that I know I need to work on, that I need to fix. And one of them is my weight. So I say that to say there are times when our self esteem can be affected. It might not be something that you struggle with on a daily basis in terms of the fact that you walk around feeling a certain way or treating yourself a certain way, or your confidence is so low that it's visible to other people. You know, it might not be that type of situation, but I think we all have things we want to fix with ourselves. Even when you have people that you look at and you're like, oh my God, he's perfect, she's perfect, whatever the case may be. I'm sure those people have things about themselves that they want to fix, that they don't like. Like, everyone has those. So I think at some point all of us deal with some type of self-esteem type issues, and that is one of the ways that ADHD can play out in your everyday life. I, as a single mom, and as a single mom, I think that several of the symptoms of ADHD come into play on a regular basis, right? Like, I just talked about the self esteem. I talked about, depression and anxiety, how those things can come into play. And it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And it's important that we recognize that sometimes we need help dealing with some of the things that we're dealing with, and that asking for help or checking into getting help does not mean that we're weak, or that we are less than. It just means that we acknowledge that we could use some assistance. And from, that can be a good thing, because we all do, whether we want to admit it or not, we all do at times need help. And it's good to be able to acknowledge that and seek the help that you need to manage these conditions, right? Whatever they are, whether it is the ADHD or it's something else, we want to be able to manage that, and be able to say to ourselves, it's okay to ask for help, because that's a hard thing for some people. That's a very hard thing for some people. I know I have relationships with people that can't even admit that they are wrong about things, or that their view of the way that things appear is not the only view. Like, we can have a difference in opinion and be okay, right? And I feel like when you have a person like that that's unwilling to acknowledge it, they might be the ones that need the most help, because they don't, they're stuck in this space of, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word at the moment. They're stuck in a space where it's all about them and their thoughts and their views, and that is the only thing that matters. And that could be a problem a lot of times, especially in a relationship. Shoot, even in business, that's just a problem when you can't acknowledge that, things can be seen a different way, or things could actually be a different way than how you see them. Yeah, that can be a problem. It's interesting. I think that's how I feel about, and I don't want to get into politics too much, but that's how I feel about, um, the guy. I don't even want to call him a gentleman, because I don't feel like he is. I'm sure there's some of you that are watching this video that have either dealt with ADHD yourself, or you have a child or family member, or maybe a student if you're a teacher that has dealt with it, and you might have some suggestions of resources that we can use to help. Please share that. Please let us know. We would love to be able to receive those blessings from each other, just kind of sharing what we know has worked for someone else. Now, we know that everything is not going to work for everybody. However, you could try different things, or implement different techniques or strategies that might be helpful, that someone else has tried and has worked for them. So I would love it if in the chat, if you have dealt with it, or if you know someone has dealt with it, if you could comment any resources again, or I'm actually looking for an assessment so that I can assess myself before I go see a doctor. So if you know of any good ones, or ones that have been very effective for you, share it in the chat. And that way we all can work towards getting better and getting whole and well, and managing the things that we struggle with. On that note, today I've talked about ADHD, how it impacts our everyday life, and strategies for managing it effectively. This is a conversation I feel like we should be continuing, that we should have often, to kind of see where we are, what kind of feedback we're getting from others around us that might be dealing with it, if it's not you directly. And I would love for you guys to share your experiences in the comments if you feel comfortable, because you never know how your comments or experiences might help someone else. I know for me, I am going to focus on figuring out whether or not this is something that I really have, and also using some of the strategies we talked about today in my everyday life to do better. I was going to say get better, but it's not even about that. It's about doing better, because we're all good, but we can all be better. No one's perfect, because I know I'm not. But before I hop off here today, I wanted to bring up something else, and this is definitely off topic, so I'm going to get fussed at later on, but let's do it. So, and I got to stop saying so. I keep saying I'm going to stop saying so. The word so has to be removed from my vocabulary. So last week I got my hair dyed, and it actually, like, those of you that know me know I love a light color, and it is actually the lightest that I have ever had it. And I didn't even think my hair could get this light with, I'm not going to say I didn't think it, actually I did think it couldn't get this light, so I'm not going to lie. I felt like, because my hair was so dark, and I think my hair is normally like a number 4 if you get your hair braided or whatever and you know the colors. Mine was a number 4, and it was dark until I went actually, I started coloring it before I went natural, and I think that was one of the reasons I went natural anyway. So I colored my hair. I want to know what you guys think about it. I really like it. Yeah, I'm off topic, so forgive me. It could be the ADHD, so pray for me. But I just want to talk about my hair color. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. So anyway, back on topic. ADHD, share your stories. Share any resources like books or, videos or shows or whatever, any resources that you have used or that you know of that might benefit someone else. Please feel free to share them in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video and check the notification bell. I'm getting there. We're only a few weeks in, and we would love, 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 love your ideas for anything that we should talk about on the channel. I did get some feedback that maybe I should bring some guests on, which I will consider doing in the near future. But I feel like we need to spend some time getting to know each other before I start bringing other people into the fold. I have considered inviting some of my Gen Zers. I hope I said that right. My niece and I have talked about that, like having some conversations with Gen Zers, just kind of, because I have boys. I never gave birth to girls, but I have girls around me in multiple different relationships. And it's a lot different when you are the parent versus you are the auntie or the mentor, or a relationship that is separate from parent or mom. Because as we know, girls and moms normally butt heads in those teenage years, especially when we start meeting boys. So that is one topic that we brought up to discuss. And maybe this should be a separate video or a separate clip because it is totally off topic. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment with your thoughts or questions or experiences or resources, and subscribe for more content. And please feel free to share any suggestions that you have on content you would like to see. Thank you for spending time with us today. I greatly appreciate it. And remember, you're not alone. Together, we can navigate through the challenges of ADHD. Bye.